Welcome everybody here to the KeSPA Cup Live. It is Saturday. We are sponsored by Latte Home Shopping. Thank you very much once again. I am Valdez. With me today is Wolf. How are you feeling today?
I'm feeling great. I just remembered there's some things I need to go get from a Latte Home Shopping store for my house.
Yeah? Is that so?
Yeah. Like I need to replace my vacuum, I think. And
you actually do have stuff to...
I was thinking maybe I should maybe get a coffee maker because I like coffee.
Yeah. You should do that.
I have to go to the coffee shop to get coffee. I will. I will. So, guys, spread the word about today. It's going to be a long, long day of casting, like possibly really, really, really long.
Yeah. Last time I think me and Mingley did it until 10:30. We started at 2 last time also. It was an 8.5 hour cast. It was pretty fun. It was pretty fun, but it was long. You know, we get to see a lot of Starcraft. So that's the best part about it.
Yeah, I think today we're definitely going to be pretty laid back, pretty chill, not too serious until we get to later rounds, especially because we're still very early on. Some of the first games we have just kind of carrying over from the first round from last time you guys weren't able to finish. Because, I mean, that would have been insane if you guys actually did all that in one day. Too much.
We just go until like 2 a.m. Doesn't matter. It's fine. Today we're going to have Maru versus Impact as the first games, and Maru is just, you know, we don't get to see much of his TVZ, but he's going up against a Zerg that is from SKT, of course, but he hasn't really played much.
Yeah, not too much.
Televised matches. So.
He's definitely a bit of an underdog in this series, to put it lightly, and I'm just curious to see how he's going to perform today because he's definitely not a top dog right now in Korea, but qualifying for this tournament alone is pretty impressive.
Yeah, it really is. And for you guys who are not aware, we give away a lot of money for this. This is a lot of seeds coming in here. I think it's 8 seeds and 8 qualified players through a pretty brutal bracket. So we get the best of the best here in one big round of 16. There's a lot of WCS points on the line, total 4,000 of them.
Yeah,
we did the first day on Monday, and now we got Saturday and tomorrow.
Yeah, 4,000 WCS points. I feel like that's the biggest deal of all of this because these players really want to go to BlizzCon, and usually BlizzCon is a tournament that's dominated by Koreans because there's so many points in this tournament. So this is an important place for these players to get those easy points.
Yep. Well, guys, for today, to start things off, we're going to have Maru versus Impact and Dream versus True down there in the bottom right. And then we jump right into the round of 8. It's going to be Flash versus Classic, Sue versus Hero, Biel versus Dark, and then eventually the winner of Maru versus Impact versus the winner of Dream versus True, which should be, if everything goes correctly, Wolf, Maru versus Dream.
Yeah, a rematch of the TVT Finals from Season 1 of Star League, so that should be a great match. Absolutely crazy. Dream did struggle against Maru, but it was a good finals nonetheless. And basically, here are the matches you just described. So, as you can see, we're going to have 6 matches tonight, and we don't even know the last one just yet, even though we said most likely it's going to be Maru versus Dream. We're going to have to make sure that they get there because upsets are possible, absolutely, in this tournament. Some of the more exciting matches, I feel like Flash versus Classic, Sue versus Hero. That's CJ Hero, for those who don't know his Korean name.
Even Biel versus Dark.
Yeah.
You know, Dark just got smacked around by Hyun once again. It was pretty insane. He basically did the same thing that he did to Losira in the last challenge match as Hyun did just to Dark very recently. So Dark recently coming off of a big upset loss in ZVZ. We'll have to see how he does against Biel. I'll probably favor Biel just after seeing that series.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, Dark, definitely a good player, more known for his ZVT, and losing to Hyun is not, it's not like, I just want to say, like, I don't want to say bad things about Dark for losing Hyun to 3-0 because of what happened with the matchup versus Losira. As you were saying, Hyun prepares really well. He takes the tournament very seriously. Yeah. And I think that some of these Zerg opponents do not take him as seriously because he's not on a KeSPA team.
For sure. I mean, the matches that Dark were showing us were him just trying to go for timings, and Hyun was just playing ultra defensively, and he was so prepared, like you said. And it was really awesome to see that. But Hyun is not here in this tournament, unfortunately. But Dark is, let's see how he does in that ZVZ. There's a lot of events. If you come down here, of course, you can win bags. There's headsets, mouse pads, all sorts of fun stuff. Also, the I Am the Viper event.
Oh, it's back.
It's back here for this KeSPA couple.
That's so funny. Yeah, it says back again. And I feel like if you could have the abduct ability, it would be so handy. On the other side of the room, you could just like abduct your iPad across the room because you're too lazy to grab it.
Telekinesis of a sort, you know. Maybe in the future when we start adding robot parts to our brain.
How do we use consume though to get more energy? Do I have to like slightly make my pants dirty or something, and then I have more energy to use?
What?
Like, what do I? Use consume. You like destroy your own building. So if you're a biker, like as a human, what would you have to destroy to get consume, man? I'm a Viper. Once again, I abduct my family member, your lover or friend. Oh my God!
What? Oh man. Abducting lovers all over the world.
You could get a $10 gift card, a $30 gift card, or a $50 gift card, and that guy's got a fan.
Yeah, man. It is really hot today in Korea, even hotter than it was yesterday, and it was really hot yesterday too, up to 34 degrees Celsius.
He lost. Too bad.
Guang.
Yeah, it's insanely hot these days. So it was so hot today. I was telling you earlier. I left my house, went into the hallway, and I was like, "Oh my God, it's so hot! Did I leave the AC on in my house?" The difference in temperature in my room and outside is too different. But it was just like blazing hot today. It's like I'm living in a frying pan right now.
Last night was like the first night that I was like, okay, I actually have to use the AC and not just my small little fan, which is what I usually use. But going into this matchup, Maru versus Impact, as we said, coming into the viewpoints, Maru weak against SKT Zergs. And just Zergs overall, his TVZ definitely is his weakest matchup.
And the second point here, it's the second time that Impact advanced into a major premier tournament in Korea ever. And that is, I think, the biggest point to note here. I mean, the guy does not have results, whereas Maru is hailed as the best Terran in the world. So Maru weak against SKT Zergs, but how often do we really see Impact actually come out and play? Not very often. He's played once in Pro League, I believe. The guy has a history. He used to play on Axiom. He was picked up by them, and I think he might have done some stuff with KT back a long time ago. But basically, the guy comes from a team that's a little bit different than SKT, a lot more laid back, and it's kind of surprising that SKT picked him up. They must have seen promise in him, as Total Biscuit and the Axiom team did as well. So I don't expect a lot from him today. I expect this is probably going to be a one-sided series. But, no, we have been surprised before in these tournaments.
Yep. Well, getting over here to the Tablet Man, the referee, Tablet Man guy.
All right, so we have a pick and ban system here. Yep. I love the music for this, by the way. It gets me like pretty pumped.
Oh man, I think we must have stole GSL's music, guy, because the music for this KeSPA Cup and just for the new season of SSL have been fantastic. I hope he's listening, because it's really good.
So today's a big learning day for me. I watched a lot of the other KeSPA Cup day, but I am not that familiar with these maps yet. Cactus Valley and Dash and Terminal, the first bans here.
Yep. Dash and Terminal ban, that makes a lot of sense. We saw tanks behind the rocks. No Zerg wants to deal with that ever.
Yep.
And Cactus Valley banned out there for Maru.
Yeah, doesn't want to play a big map, I guess. Wants to be able to push a little bit harder. He goes straight into Terraform in game one, and then we're going to see Coda picked by Impact. Yes, I believe that's the order of things. Obviously, the pop-up's a bit delayed.
I think Impact got first pick and first ban.
Yeah, I think you're right, actually.
Terraform and Coda is a pretty Terran-favored map. I think it kind of makes sense there. And you guys saw the rest of the maps there. These two guys actually seem pretty friendly.
Yeah, and we even saw the Tablet Man jokingly said something to Maru there at the end. As you guys probably know, the Tablet Man was in the previous iterations of the KeSPA Cup, and he's quite famous in Korea actually because he's consistently been the guy with the tablet.
Yep.
They call him the Tablet Man. Yeah.
It's not just something we just made up right now. Like I first saw it from Kenzie. But guys, let's go into our player interview video right now.
안녕하세요. 진에어브린즈 테란 조성주입니다. 예선을 안 하고 프로리그 시드로 올라와서 그냥 좀 편했던 것 같아요. 딱히 없는 것 같아요. 저만 잘하면 될 것 같아서 하고 싶은 선수가 없어서 그냥 아무나 했으면 좋겠어요. 저번에 좀 빨리 떨어졌는데 이번에는 꼭 우승하도록 하겠습니다.
네, 안녕하세요. 저는 SK텔레콤의 저그저 김준혁입니다. KeSPA컵에 처음 올라봤는데 되게 의미 있는 대회라고 생각해서 되게 설레는 것 같아요. 처음 올라왔기 때문에 되게 만만하다고 생각할 것 같기 때문에 오히려 끊고 다치게 해줄 수 있을 것 같아요. 선수분들이 다 잘한다고 생각하지만 다 할만하다고 생각하기 때문에 최대한 높은 곳까지 올라가도록 하겠습니다.
요즘에 어깨가 좀 안 좋아서 개인 리그도 더 떨어지고 많이 실망하셨을 텐데 이제 더 열심히 해서 꼭 좋은 모습 보여드리겠습니다.
별로 방송 경기는 많이 안 해본 선수지만 좋은 경기력으로 인상 깊은 모습 보여줄 수 있도록 노력하겠습니다.
So just to give you guys a bit of a summary, Maru giving his very famous Maru interview, he didn't say much. He was like, oh, I just got here in a seed, and I don't really want to play anyone specific. I just, just want to play my games here, just want to, be here, I guess, do my thing.
So,
and,
not to interrupt you, but I'm actually not invited to the game yet. I don't know what challenge this will be, and someone's got to tell me really fast so I can get into it, because I don't have an invite either. And I'm mostly just saying this not for the viewers, but for production.
We'll get into that game. Someone will invite you eventually.
Yeah, but anyways, what you're saying about Maru's interview is true.
Yeah.
It's a pretty cut and dry.
Yeah.
I hope I do well. I hope I show good games to the fans.
He said also his shoulder has been bothering him recently. And he's sorry to his fans about that, but he's going to try his best. Also, Impact says, this is my first time coming into the KeSPA Cup. I'm really happy to be here. But, I'm just really excited for my games today. And he should be. He hit a pretty hard opponent here, to be honest, in Maru. One of the best, if not the best, in the tournament. And you guys can see his win ratio here in general and official matches. He plays so many games of Starcraft, 86 and 44 in 2015. That is incredibly high win ratio for this guy.
Absolutely. I mean, this guy, one of the best players in the world, good at all matchups, the star player for Jin Air in Pro League, especially in the all-kill format. So, do not take this guy lightly. He's probably the favorite to win the entire tournament. In fact, right now, I would say. Looking at Impact, you can see he's got a negative record as well as his 2015 official games, 3-8. And his record versus Terran is 1-6. He's got a very unlucky opponent that he's hit here in game one.
Because we don't really see Impact too often, I went through his Aligalag. Actually, I looked at his stats recently, and he drops like 3-game series to not the best turns in the world, to be honest. This could be, in fact, even his weakest matchup. So I'm really excited to see what he's going to show us today. Maru did show a bit of weakness to early pressure. He lost that way to Dark, a big baneling bust at the front on Cactus Valley, which may also be the reason why Maru bans out that map.
Yeah.
Now that I think about it.
Definitely a good point. I just have to say this is going to be a rough game for Impact, a rough series. Let's hope he doesn't get dominated here in this first game, because if he does, I feel like it's really going to hurt his confidence, especially because I think he got first pick, like you said. So this is probably his map pick. If Maru crushes him here, I just don't even want to imagine what that's going to do to his confidence today, because he's already probably feeling very nervous against such a great opponent.
Yeah, that's a really good point. I think he needs to at least do well here in the first game, just not get crushed, Let's jump into game number 1 right now, guys, on Terraform.
Maru, 조성준 vs SK텔레콤 T1 Impact, 김준혁.
Up here in the top left in the red, our Terran player from the Jin Air Green Wings, it is Maru.
There he is. His opponent to the bottom right in purple. For SKT, it's Impact. He's rocking, I noticed earlier we had a bit of a deeper camera shot of him. He's got the QSEN DT35 keyboard. And I actually use that currently at home right now. I spilt water on my Alt key, and it stopped working on my my Sky Digital that I've been using for years. And I was playing Heroes of the Storm or something with you, wasn't I? And I was like, I have to switch keyboards right now. This is going to take too long to dry. And I plugged that QSEN back in, and it feels pretty good using it again. I used it like all through my college years, and it's a great keyboard.
I used to use that a lot as well. Had it back in the States. I didn't bring it over with me. So I just got, right now I have just like the stock keyboard that came with my computer. It's pretty sad, but you know, I'll have to get that figured out here in a bit. It looks like we're going to have that gold base possibly taken here by Impact.
Yeah, he's scouting around with his drone to make sure no proxies. Maybe takes it. Yeah, he's looking, he's headed in that direction. So going to grab those monies first.
He's going to put it on the right side, unlike Sue.
Oh, he's listening to the English commentary. He knows what's up.
He's like, oh, you got me.
We're glad to have you. And actually, just going to take the normal hatch, going to just steal some monies for that drone so that for the rest of the game he has a weird number in the instead of a 0 or a 5 there at the end.
Making it interesting, I suppose. No, I think he's just playing very safe here against Maru. Maru known to just 2-rax people that he thinks are not so good. So Impact's like, oh, I'm definitely the underdog. He might do this. Let me just be safe and do a bit of extra scouting. Trick the casters into thinking I'm taking the gold, but actually I'm not.
Yeah.
Because I'm cheeky like that.
Just looking at this map layout, the third base is not too far away for a Zerg to take. You spread your creep. It's not so bad. The fourth base seems like it might be pretty easy to take as well, as long as you don't lose to, you don't lose early map control. There's a lot of terrain on this map. There's a lot of line of sight blockers and rock towers. Talking about Charmin, the caster, the original MC.
Yeah, he said he came back after 1 year.
Yeah, it's been a while since we saw him. Yeah, you and Moonlight were talking about this actually at the KeSPA Cup. We just didn't see him for a long time because the early caster lineup kind of got switched a bit. As this game kind of progresses, we're going to see an early gas here for Impact. Is going to get speed out pretty quick. There's a lot of choke points on this map, I've noticed. So that's something to keep in mind. I'm just kind of trying to explore the map right now with this observing PC and look at it a little bit deeper.
Yeah. Did you see when I think it was Sue? Maybe not Sue. It was some other Zerg on this map against a Terran. He tried to place the Overlord. I think maybe it was Dark, actually. Yeah, it was Dark against Fantasy. He tried to put it, in that normal spot where you can put it over the natural, where there's like a little tower and it's hidden unless you get vision in the air.
Right.
But you actually can't do that on this map because there's a ramp there. You can get vision with one Marine. So.
Oh, that's right, actually.
So Impact does have the map studied at least. He's not going to put his Overlord in that position.
Yeah, that's actually a really good point. I did not see that specific game, but yeah. That's kind of a weird, maybe perhaps potential problem with the map, because Zerg needs to be able to have an Overlord nearby there, and at these spawn locations, it's hard to get it below the natural. So, yeah, that's got to be a bit frustrating.
Seems like the response here is going to be just
super fast Overlord speed.
Yeah, because he needs to get the scouting.
Yeah.
I always appreciate when Zergs do this. It is of course a big thing to invest into, but it can save you at times, especially when you see the build that Maru's going for 3 racks here.
Yeah, it's very important, and Maru's probably going to be pretty frustrated with this. Probably doing this possibly because he knows the map is very difficult for Zerg to scout on as well, and this is a really cool kind of tech that he's invested in here. And the thing about this sort of tech too is, yeah, it's expensive. It does slow down your early game quite a bit, but it's going to be useful in the late game against Widow Mines, for example. You're going to want the upgrade anyways, so I think it's a pretty cool choice. I like this a lot.
And it tells us Impact exactly what Maru's doing, which looks like just a big stim timing with Hellbats, just from what we see right now. So, he's going to have all the necessary tools. He can play safe behind this and be prepared for the push and just be totally fine. I really I'm loving it so far out of Impact.
Yeah. By the way, guys, I know there's some issues with the stream. Hoping to get that resolved ASAP.
Not even sure if it's up right now, to be honest.
Yeah.
But
I hope you're out there. Hope someone can hear me. Hellions can run by.
Ooh, he's actually going to get out of there just barely. Not going to commit, and even one of them getting surrounded here. One of them does get into the main, though.
Yeah.
And does see no lair just yet.
think it's reasonable that this gets scouted. This is not crazy information, especially because you saw the fast overlord speed, but it's good to know. And actually, the Hellion may escape here because Impact's not watching. It's kind of crazy. Oh! Ooh! Not today!
You get 2 scratches there on the paint, and the Hellion blows up to 1 million pieces.
Isn't that funny how RTS games are like that, where it's like, you're completely alive if you have 1 health, and if you go to 0, then you just explode.
Yeah.
That's why I guess that's why they call it hit points. It's like, how many hits can you take? How many points of damage?
Good call, Wolf. I think that does have something to do with it.
Well, I just mean like it's not like health really. People say it's health, but it's hit points. Like how many hits can you take before you're just gonna explode into 1 million pieces? That's the moment. Oh, this Overlord's gonna get down actually. Well,
it does have speed, but not speedy enough. This push is coming across the map here. Maru did lose some of his Hellions, so it is not going to be as strong as it possibly could have. But as we said before, I mean, Impact knows exactly what's coming. And I think that's part of the reason why Maru doesn't overly commit to this. He is going to put pressure on at that 3rd base, it looks like, but he is taking a 3rd base of his own at the same time.
Yeah. These Lings are actually probably going to force a cancel on that. Yep, there they go. But he needs to turn these into Hellbats. His armory is ready. Looks like he just wants to kite it out against these Banelings instead, which isn't a bad choice. Yeah. These Queens with a lot of energy for Transfuse is going to help push this back.
Nice targeting there on the Baneling. Just doing a good job of using his army, moving back and forth, not overcommitting here. Just trying to do that small damage. These 2 Overlords can get sniped and possibly supply block even Impact.
Yep. Good micro, actually. I kind of like that he's keeping the Hellions in Hellion mode considering what he's up against.
Yeah.
Oh, man, look at how many more Marines there are to reinforce this, though. They're just going to be boosted across the map to get him over there faster. And
Impact is going to see this, though. Let's see if he's paying attention. Uh-oh, going to lose another Overlord. He really needs to pull those back.
Yeah. I mean, he's doing a good job of, like, transfusing them, but they need to be not out in the middle especially because he has Overlord speed. There's, like, no excuse to be losing these.
Yeah.
Good scan here.
Yeah, it's pretty fantastic. Nice Spore Crawler placement here. Actually going to push the Medivacs back. Not sure if it's going to be able to clean up this push, but at the same time, the Baneling run by at the natural of Maru. Nice split there, though. He's going to try to go for the SUVs, and they're bunching up.
Oh, man, they got bunched up, but he does not get the kills he wanted. He does get 6, but the drop continues here. Yeah, that was a pretty cool run by there, and definitely going to throw Maru a bit off guard, but the problem is he's never really dealt with this push handedly. Like, he's pushed it back, he's survived, but it's going to get stronger. This drop that was meant for harass can actually just join up with the army, can make this attack into a 2-pronged attack. It's in Hellbat mode now because there's no Banelings left over here. He's getting worn down.
I really love the way Impact is at least surviving here. He's not getting crushed, you know what I mean? His Spire is very late, which is one thing, and I think he even put that right there at that 3rd base, so it could even be sniped. Look at the split on those Marines right now on the creep. It's pretty insane. Another run by, though, at the same time.
Yep. And, he's going to clean this up, at least the initial part of it. But the second wave is coming in. Let's see if he can clean that up as well. Meanwhile, more and more SCVs going down.
Yeah, there's actually nothing back there to defend. This is a ton of Lings. Finally, some Widowmines pop out and some Marines, but Maru taking a lot of damage. 12 SCVs going down, in fact.
Yeah.
And with that pressure,
he's down quite significantly in supply as well. I mean, looking at, like, if you look at the supply of what it is, there's 7 Medivacs in that army supply you look at, too, so it's not the strongest ground army. As you can see, it looks kind of puny here. And he's even losing Medivacs to Queens bit for this rally there.
Still some Widowmines that haven't been cleaned up here on the creep. Could come back to haunt Impact, but for now it's going to be okay. It looks like Maru's trying to actually bait that in.
Oh boy, those Widowmine hits were glorious, but there's still not enough here to defend. Oh wow, so many SCVs going down. Oh, he traps that one Baneling, but in the end, 8 SCVs fall in total. The depots are burning, and Maru continues the push. Does he have enough Banelings at home to defend? That's the question. That's the concern here.
So, looks like Maru going to hold on for now. He does have that 3rd orbital. He hasn't committed to getting that down.
Yeah.
And it's part of the reason why he's falling so far behind here. Impact's had this 3rd base for so long. He hasn't really had too many drone losses from this pressure from Maru.
Yeah, this is actually quite a stellar defense on that one Spore Crawler. Look at how much zoning it gives him here. Like, Maru just cannot even stick around, and in fact, he might even lose his weakened medevac to these 3 Mutalisks, as it doesn't have boost, I believe. Oh, he barely gets in the way. This is a really impressive game we're seeing from Impact right now. I'm actually kind of excited. This guy is pretty good. All right, Widowmine hits here are important. Does get some decent shots off.
But at the end of the day, he's still going to survive here. Nice little pressure coming in, going to clear it creep in front of the natural. That's about it.
Yeah. Well, +3 is on the way now for Maru. He's just now getting that armor. This entire time Impact has been at 1-1, so
how did
stronger.
He squeeze out +2 this fast?
I don't
this pressure has been going on for so long.
Oh man, that line of sight blocker is so important. I talked about it earlier, just like my predictions for this map. Can't go walking on the other side of that. And that medevac full of units is being targeted currently. It looks like it definitely will go down. Maru is getting dealt with hard, man. Like, everything he's throwing at Impact is catching it with open arms.
Oh man, the Widowmine hits though.
Yeah, that's one thing he's definitely been struggling with.
Yeah, that's Impact's big issue right now. If he can just get some dark level, clearing up at the Widowmines, just sending small groups of units forward, some Banelings trying to blow up the Widowmines, he could be doing much better in this game.
Yeah, this is just a map that, especially as a defender, if you have units positioned on the top of these ramps, on the other sides of these line of sight blockers, it's not as hard to defend as a more open map might be. Coming up here, taking out his Widowmines as best as he can.
Takes out one of them.
Yeah. The other one's very low. I don't think Maru can actually push up this ramp. There's too much creep, there's too much Zerg, there's way too many Banelings. Yeah. Gonna get pushed back again. These medevacs are gonna die if he doesn't run them away.
Some of them are so low, I know you guys can't really see. You see it down there in the bottom right. 2 of them below orange. One of them gonna be taken out. Trying to save the Marines, but those medevacs are doomed.
Maru is just getting shut down at every turn, and now there's a 4th base coming up. A part of the reason I feel like Impact has dealt with this so well is because he didn't have a 4th base. He was doing this all on 3 base, so he had a lot more units. He wasn't managing a 4th base. He was defending a further away location than he normally would be. But look at this. He's actually going to catch these reinforcements immediately and forcing Maru to stim and run back. They're just going to avoid this and then do another run by. Decent Zergling splits here.
Yeah, he's trying to set off those Widowmines, and he does a decent job, in fact. Now he's trying to push in here off creep. Nice little splits here from Maru. Those 2 Banelings, though, getting more and more SCV kills.
Yeah, and meanwhile at the main, or rather the natural, these SCVs are under attack by Meatless. His base might burn down.
He's not going to lift it. He loses his 3rd orbital. He was paying too much attention to these Metas doing critical damage into the main.
Like, I don't even know how else to say this guy's Maru is getting owned right now, and I don't even believe, I just can't even believe what's occurring.
It's hard to believe what we're seeing.
Ooh, the Widowmine hits are really the only thing Impact has not dealt with well, and he just lost, like, way too many mules. I think he lost, like, 6 meters just then.
He heard us talking about him in a good light, and he got nervous, It's kind of unfortunate.
Be the case, right? Seems that way.
And Maru, at the same time, he still does have 2 orbitals. At least he's going to fly one over, and he has some pretty awesome upgrades here. I think he's 3-2 at this point in time. Impact, if I'm not mistaken, is still on 1-1.
You're
so
right.
If Maru can stick it out and try to survive in this game, maybe. I'm not sure why Impact hasn't committed to 2-2 because he has like so much space in this game too. Like,
yeah.
It's not like he's fighting to try to survive and just make it barely enough units.
Well, he's listening to you again because he's adding it now. The burrow is well on the way.
Come on, Impact. Turn off the stream.
That's messed up, man. That's messed up. He's listening.
Oh boy.
There are more and more SCVs going down here. Maru now down to 42 SCVs. This attack needs to be dealt with, though, and those upgrades you were talking about are really, really strong right now. The Widowmine hit is decent, but the Banelings did their damage already. The problem is he needs another set of them. Here they come, and 13 more on the way.
He's got so much stuff back here. Impact is having so much room in this game to really get his economy going on 72 drones, 4 bases. He could take another one if he wanted to. Really, the only thing that I could criticize is the fact that he forgot his 2-2.
Every time, because Maru is committing to these attacks that he cannot win, he baits actually his Meatless in here, but every time he commits these attacks, he loses all of his medevacs, and that's something that he has to keep replacing. It's very expensive. This attack gets cleaned up because it was very haphazard, the way he engaged it. I think Impact thinks he's maybe further ahead than he actually is in this game, but I mean, he's still now doubling the supply of Maru at this point.
Yep. It's pretty insane. This is definitely not what I expected, to be honest. I expected Impact to get slapped around, but Impact has proven me wrong today, man.
Yeah,
this is awesome to see.
This is like a mirror image of what we were supposed to see, man. It's just like the exact opposite, the reflection. This is going to get shut down hard, even though it's a really good position for these Marines. And again, he's going to lose more and more medevacs. Only 3 Mutalisks here, actually. The 4th one comes to join, so good control by Maru of using that mineral line.
Yeah, good focus on the Mutalisks as well.
He's actually just going to keep doing this. He's going to drop on the other side now.
Oh, that is gross, man. That is disgusting.
That's so annoying.
Well, he's just got to keep units on both sides.
Yeah.
I mean,
look at the supplies. Actually, Maru is whittling him down here a little bit.
like, why are there Zerglings not on the other side?
Oh,
like,
man.
Please. Okay, here we go.
God.
All right. You did it, Impact. He's got 2-2 about to finish up here. He's not going to be too far behind Maru now.
No. And this drop is going to get shut down, finally. Again, using those rock towers against him. Using anything he can against him. Starting to get a better feel for this map. Maru does not have +3 armor. Something that he would love to invest into if he had a better economy. But if he gets that, his army is going to be a full set of upgrades ahead. He's just now only the +3 attack ahead, which is pretty normal in this matchup to deal with. Oh, 2 medevacs over here in a very precarious position. Does turn those right around. I feel like Impact is really struggling to finish this game.
Yeah.
You know?
Part of it was his haphazard engagements into a bunch of Wood Mines. Part of it was the upgrades. But I think we're getting to the point where it's just going to be inevitable that Maru's going to fall over. Maru's mining from one base right now.
Yeah, it's like
one base, this one. That's it.
Eventually, this becomes like a math problem, but the solution is simple.
Yeah. And Maru doesn't even have a turret over there. Pretty interesting to note. He's trying to commit as much to this ground army as possible, I suppose.
He knows that's the one way he wins this game, is he just wins with his better upgrades and good Little Mine hits, which have been consistently what's keeping him in this game. Oh, wow, those Banelings are pretty bad. Maru didn't even split, but, like, those were not where they needed to be.
Nice little run by here. There is some bio, but doesn't look like it's going to be enough. Some Ling's even getting into the main now.
Yep, this Bioforce over here needs to be dealt with. It's a serious issue. Widow Mines not getting shots off here, but the Baneling hits are not very good.
Pretty good splits. But at the same time, as you said it before, I think this just becomes a numbers game as you go more and more out. Widow Mines can only do so much.
He's just abusing the fact that melee units can't go around these locations, but there's too many Mutalisks. GG. Impact takes game number 1.
What?
Really, 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 really solid defense. Definitely some very apparent holes in his play as well, but that was impressive. Yeah. I see the potential. I'm starting to feel like, you know, this guy is on SKT for a reason. I'm
getting some small chills, man. Some small ones, but they're there.
Yeah.
And it's, you know, I think part of it is also that Maru, kind of an interesting build that he went for. I want to note that today when he came in, the Greencasters asked him if he ate, and he said no. So this guy hasn't eaten. He looked pretty tired. It's starting a bit earlier than normal over here for KeSPA Cup. It is a Saturday as well. You know, it may go against his normal schedule. So maybe in the first game he looked kind of rusty, but as we get further on in the series, he should be okay, I suppose.
Well, I worry for Impact because that was a good game by him, but he struggled to close. He had a few issues with the defense there. I mean, not with the defense, but with the late game. Like, he had a few issues with the Widow Mines, and he basically just, Maru looked like he might have been able to come back off one base with a tiny army, and that worries me because what if Maru is not behind? What if Maru is